Here we will see returning a difference between two date functions in SQL Server. The date part function returns a specified part of a date. This function returns the result as an integer value. General syntax is date part with parameters interval and date, where interval is a required parameter which is the part of the date argument to return. And date is also a required parameter which specifies the date to use. It can be of following types: date, date time offset, date time to, small date time or time. Different intervals with date part functions are as follows. First is extract year. General syntax is date part with parameters year format and date, where year format can be year or 4 times y or 2 times y. For example, if we give the query select date part year get date, it will display the year of the current date. And if we give the syntax select date part with field joining date from the employee table, it will display year of the joining date for the all employees. We can use y 4 times or 2 times y for extracting the year from the employee table. Next is extract quarter. General syntax is date part with parameters quarter format, date, where quarter format can be quarter or QQ or only Q. Quarter format will returns the quarter of the year. For example, if we give the query select date part with quarter get date, it will display in which quarter current date present. We can use the date part function with the table also. So select date part QQ joining date will return the quarter of the joining date for all the employees. We can use QQ or Q also. Next is extract month. General syntax is date part with parameters month format, date, where month format can be month, M. For example, select date part with parameter month, get date will return month of the current date. And if we give select date part with joining date, it will return month of the joining date for the employee. We can also use M for extracting the month. Next is extract day of the year. General syntax is date part with parameters day of the year format and date, where day of year format can be day of year, dy or y. For example, if we give the query select date part with day of year, get date, it will return day of the current year. We can use it with table also. So select date part dy joining date will return day of the year of the joining date. We can also use y to extract the day of the year. Next is extract day of month. General syntax is date part with parameters day of month format, date, where day of month format can be day, dd or d. For example, select date part with parameter day, get date will return current day for the month. We can use it with the table also. So select date part dd, joining date will return day of the month of the joining date for the employees. We can also use d for extracting the day of month. Next is extract week of month. General syntax is date part with parameters week of month format, date, where week of month format can be week, ww or wk. For example, select date part with parameters week, get date will get current week of the month. We can use it with employee table also. So select joining date, date part ww, joining date will return week of the month of the joining date for the employees. We can use wk also to extract the week of the month. Next is extract weekday. General syntax is date part with parameters weekday format, date, where weekday format can be weekday, dw, w. For example, select date part with parameters weekday, get date will return current week of the day. We can use it with table also. So select joining date, date part dw, joining date will return joining weekday of the employee. And we can also use w for extracting the weekday. Now we'll execute these queries. First we'll use database. So project 1. First we'll extract year. So we'll use select date part with parameters year, get date as current year. And if we execute, it will display year of the current date. We can use it with employee table also. So select date part. Here we will use 4 times y, joining date as joining year from employee. And if we execute, it will display joining year for all the employees. We can display a joining date to check the year. And if we execute, it will display joining date and joining year. We will execute this query with another format as YY. It will display year of the joining date for all the employees. That is, you can use 4 times Y as a date part, or we can use YY for extracting the year. Now we'll use these queries for extracting the quarter. So select date part, quarter, comma get date as current quarter. And when we execute, it will display 3 since September present in quarter 3rd. Now we'll use this with employee table, or we can copy this, and here we'll use QQ, and here we'll use only Q. And when we execute, it will display joining quarter for all the employees. Now we'll use it to extract the month. Then we'll use MM here, and here we'll use only M. And when we execute, it will display current month with the getDate function. It will display joining month for all the employees. Now we'll see it for day of the year. So we will use day of year for current date. Here we'll use DY format, and here we'll use Y format. And when we execute, it will display day of the year with getDate function, and it will display day of the year of the joining date for all the employees. That is, we can use DY format or Y format to extract the day of year. Now we'll see day of month. For this we'll use day, then here we'll use DD, and lastly we'll use D, and here we'll give day of month. And when we execute, it will display day of the month. So we can use day, DD or D to get the day of the month. Now we'll see week of month. So week WW adds week of month, and we'll use here W key. And when we execute this, it will display week of the month. That is, we can extract the week of the month using the week WW or WK. Now we'll see weekday. So here we'll use weekday, then DW and W. Here I'll give day of week, and when we execute, it will display day of the week. So we can use weekday, DW or W to get the day of the week.